Hi guys, welcome back to Miscellaneous Pleasures. I'm back with third episode from season 7 of Flash. Yeah, I am really excited for this episode for the simple reason that those 1.5 minutes, 1 minutes that happened at the end of the last episode, where we had original Harrison Wells. I mean, the way he looked, I'm not really sure, but the way he looked, it looked like original Harrison Wells. He seemed to be alive, but then there seems to be a lot of questions regarding it. So, to which answers I don't have. Like, first of all, whatever happened then, did it happen in 2005 or something, like 15 years before, basically, or was it? Did he appear in 2020? Like, like if he has appeared in 2005, uh, then the question begs, what has he been doing in the last 15 years? And do people know that this guy is back? Like, I mean, come on, if you have been back for 15 years, I don't think it's easy to remain sort of invisible or hidden or sort of, something like that. So I don't think it's 2005 or something. I feel like it is possible that he has come back now, which means it will be very interesting. And there are so many questions like regarding that. How is he going to be part of the team? Like, what's his character going to be like? I mean, it is Tom Cavanaugh, so you never know. That guy could literally play anything and do it very well. So there is that. Yeah, yeah. I can't really wait for this episode, and I feel like I should probably talk about it after the episode rather than before it. But a quick sort of recap, we also had Flash Barry Allen getting a lot of thinking power. He was basically the thinker plus the Flash. Actually, I think he was more than the thinker, but uh, plus there was also, he obviously lost it because, he realized that it wasn't really good for him. And like Iris came back, but then Iris is not awake. She is not really, I don't know what she is, but she's not dead. That's, I know. So then he's back from the Mirrorverse. Uh, he also ratted out Mirror Master Eva. He basically said that, what, she is the duplicate, she is dead. The one that we have been seeing is a duplicate version of herself. So he did also that while he was sort of in his brain surge moments. There was also the cool scene of Flash Frost, which was absolutely fantastic. And I am looking forward to, like, this is a concept that they have began. So I wonder if they could use this concept and make her into a speedster or make anybody into a speedster, or could they, like, I mean, Velocity X is one thing that I think it was like, Barry Allen should never take because too much of it is not really good for you. Something like that. Isn't that what Hunter Zolomon said in season 2? Or was it Velocity 9? I don't know. I'm not really sure at this point of time. Anyways, the point being that a speed drug is not the solution for his speed. And I feel like, I mean, there are so many opportunities that the Flash has. They could literally do anything and convince the fans that that's the best way. So, yeah. Here we go. Cisco is awake. And he has realized. Okay, everybody is getting up at the same time. How weird.
Cisco, what happened?
Dude, he's fine.
Mary? Help her. Iris. Iris.
Okay, this is bad. Guys, react to something. I'm guessing there's going to be consequences to the last episode's fight scenes. I feel like there's going to be the classic Flash hallway talk about it. Guys, please don't be mad at him. Please. That would suck.
You gonna be okay?
I remember everything. Hurting my own team. Forcing Iris through the portal, leaving Camilla and Singh trapped. I'm sorry.
That wasn't you.
Yeah, it was.
Man, no, it wasn't. You were not yourself. Trust me, we get that. That's why we're gonna put it behind us. And we're gonna move on, all right?
Team Flash.
Team.
Yeah, Team Flash.
We've got each other's backs.
We're gonna figure
This
out
is the
what to
OG
do.
Team Flash.
And Camilla and Singh. I promise.
But Eva's still out there, and I can't stop her because I don't have my speed anymore.
But
Wait, what? Are you kidding me? Wait, he doesn't even know his police officer's face. Like,
House tracking a lead. Arrest me if you
there's
have to.
no way she wore a real person's face, did she?
Telling me what's so important that you would risk your freedom.
Those
Barry, stay away from
hey, were you saying something?
Barry. Are you kidding me?
Guys,
Are you joking?
where's Barry?
He was taken? Oh no.
Satellites haven't met McCulloch.
Barry, I am not losing you too.
Frost is ready to come out.
Oh, thanks. Tupac.
How did you escape?
I didn't. Eva let me go
Why? What did she want?
to tell us that we can't win.
Well, I hope you told her where to go.
No, she's right. We can't.
Barry, what the hell are you saying? Are you even real right now? What? Wait, he's here?
No.
Like this? How did he come
My
here?
name is Harrison. Dr. Harrison Wells.
Dude, he's the OG Wells. How did he get here though?
Look, I don't know who you are, but I.
Oh, wait. You're here to save us, right? Also, which one is he? I'm the original.
He is the original man. The Earth One Wells.
Okay.
Okay, wait. I was going to say this, but I lost my train of thought. What was I going to say? Yeah, there is obviously one way that they have not really thought about. Like, couldn't they recreate the particle accelerator accident? But yeah, they need the Speed Force for that, right? Yeah, I guess they need the Speed Force for
Put out a
that.
citizen e-blast to warn the city about Eva.
Good work.
Thanks. We need help.
What?
Sue?
What's he doing here?
Holy plasmas. Dibs, where's your face? It looks like mashed potatoes.
Dude, they did not do that.
his body temp's a toast.
Are you kidding me? They made him a faceless man because they couldn't cast him. This is interesting. I don't want to say anything else.
Elongated, man. Holy sweet hawking.
Ralph texted me.
Yeah, this episode feels rushed. Honestly,
Never stop fighting to reach you.
I guess the first all three episodes, all three of them have feel rushed in their own way.
I may be the paragon of love, but
What? How does that work? Are you kidding me? You did not actually do this. What sort of rubbish logic is this?
I don't get it. How are you supposed to get your speed back exactly?
Iris. Iris is the key.
Yeah, still not following.
The Speed Force. We all thought it was dead, right? I just felt a spark with Iris just now.
What?
Barry, your speed is gone.
No, but the Speed Force is an elemental part of the universe, so theoretically...
Wait, the Speed Force is in Iris?
It could have never disappeared.
And do you think we need you?
I can't actually believe that they have used the "We Are the Flash" line for this episode. The concept at least, if not the line. Yeah, obviously he's getting his speed back. I mean, what a surprise. I have a very bad feeling about this guy, as we all do about all Harrison Wells. Okay, nice. He's back.
We're just getting started.
Okay.
You like the Sonics, milady?
Wait, what?
But wait, there's more.
I guess she has to be the perfect sort of foil against her, right? Because Killer Frost is like, you know, absolute zero temperature. Like, come on, absolute zero against speed is the perfect sort of solution.
Maybe I should bring.
What did we miss?
The fact that Barry needs more than speed to win this fight.
I can't seem to think what he needs because it's either absolute zero or what? What the hell is that? Okay, that was cool. Yeah, absolute zero.
Eva!
Please don't tell me that they're gonna give Iris powers now.
Fine. Goodbye.
What? Yeah, I knew it. I knew she was gonna have powers. They are not actually doing this. I can't believe that they are doing this. Oh my god. Thank you.
No, I wanted to make things better.
You are joking. Really?
I failed 2 worlds.
Eva, it's never too late to do the right thing. You told me about your
Unbelievable.
dream to help people.
Yeah, she won't be able to do it. Oh, Iris, oh my god. Are they actually doing this? Please, please don't do this. I can't believe what... I mean, the last episode was so good. And here we are.
It's Chewbacca.
It's Camilla, the real one. If she's back, then
That means the rest of Central City is too.
where are you?
This is very close to being the worst episode of The Flash. And I'm not even joking at this moment.
Never thought I'd get out.
Don't go anywhere. I'm gonna kiss you like there's no tomorrow. I love you, Camilla.
Okay, this is nice.
I love you too.
I want good things to happen to him.
Need a
So,
ride? At Nice Bridging. Safest way to travel.
Knowing you, I find that hard to believe.
You're a meta now.
I'm pretty sure Eva took my mirror powers back with her when she left.
Maybe when she went back to the Mirrorverse and severed the link. Without it, no powers.
though to be fair, it would have been better for her to have powers rather than not.
DEARBON, Camilla. It's a good day's work, people.
Somehow, and now I can see all 92 years of that life, past, present, and future, simultaneously. And
What?
somehow can travel to any moment I want.
What?
Timeless wells.
Are you joking?
That's a new one.
It's amazing and utterly useless unless I can share it with the woman that I love, my wife, Tess.
Yes.
We had 4 brilliant years together before we both were killed. And so if I now have a choice between moving forward from this point without her or going back to her,
Okay.
I'm going to relive
I feel
those
like
4
this is the
years
sort
we
of
had
thing
together
like
over
you plan for the future.
and over again until I'm out of time.
I have a sinister feeling about this.
Captain West? Actually, I did. Ralph's voice would have freaked him out.
What's not to love about my silky tones?
Oh, sound like a Dalek.
Yeah, I feel like the helmet's more bad.
He does sound like a Dalek.
You know I love to lose myself to
Baby,
dance.
do not, do not.
You love it.
Do not.
Don't worry, Ralph. A few more days in the BCU and you'll be good as new.
Either way, it's good to have you back, King. Frost too.
So now that
He,
my parents
he
are
sounds
okay,
more
I'm
like
happy to have evidence to clear me.
more like a Cyberman than a Dalek.
We should celebrate. So, did you ever think about joining Team Flash? We could.
Oh, thank you. Wait, what? What does that mean? What the hell was that? You know what? I do have some other things to do, so I'm going to stop this recording now, and I'll actually talk about the episode in like 15-20 minutes. But for the video, of course, it wouldn't be anything because I'm going to edit it like that. So yeah, thank you. I shouldn't say this thank you right now. I should probably say this later. So yeah, thanks for watching. Okay, there we go. I've said it. And I'll be back in a moment. Hi guys, yeah, I am back. It has been a while. It has been about an hour and 10-15 minutes. So I have had some time to sort of have this episode marinate in me, like sort of, go through over the things that happened and, try to find some positives. It was difficult. But yeah, okay. So let's just get into it, right? Because there is no point in just talking about the episode's quality. Let's just go into the specifics of it. Okay, let me talk about Joe West first. The whole Joe West thing, along with Cecile, like, again, before I go into Joe West stuff, like, this episode was so rushed. Like, honestly, I would say that the last episode felt little rushed. It wasn't extremely rushed as this one, or actually even the first one, but the second episode felt like a slightly better pace, and that's a shocking thing to say because even that episode compared to a Flash novel standards felt slightly rushed. But because of the fact that it was extremely exciting, adrenaline rush, sort of, extreme concepts and things that we have never seen before, it was just brilliant. But then when it comes to this episode and the first one, it was so underwhelming. I wish that I could forget what I saw. Honestly, the first episode was to an extent far better than this one. I mean, come on. Okay, you know what? I'll rant about the episode later. Joe West. So the thing with Joe West was I didn't really understand some of the things that he did. Like, this, I guess, the problem I faced was that I failed to understand certain motives of people. I failed to understand the impact the villain had on the people because it seemed like suddenly out of nowhere, again, because of the fact that the episode was rushed, it felt like suddenly out of nowhere, I feel like a lot of people suddenly got infected. We saw just one person have that at the end of last episode, but then suddenly in this episode we had like half the town or something infected. There were a lot of calls, like there was mass hysteria or something like that, and like, that happened. But then because I felt extremely disconnected to all of that. I mean, there have been in the past a lot of moments in the Flash where, there has been some sort of a collective problem for multiple people, maybe even the whole city. And those moments felt also like, oh my God, what's going to happen here? Like, how is this problem going to be solved? You'll be intrigued, you'll be sort of into this episode. But then this episode, it felt so disconnected. Like, I couldn't bother with them. That was the sad part. So that also, I guess, came into the Joe West thing because I did not really understand why he went towards the glass. I would have expected him to have said something like, the typical Flash or any sort of Arrowverse sort of dialogue that people have. They're like, I'm going to fight you with guns, especially considering the fact that he was fighting superheroes. But then I would have expected him to say something like that and, either give a fight or maybe just get beat or something. and then eventually, because everything else was solved, he would survive, like something like that. Not like, you know what, I want to get into the Mirrorverse. That did not make one sense to me. And I guess I also had issues with the dialogues of this episode, like what Barry said after he came back from the Mirrorverse. Like, he was like, you know what, we can't win this. Like, okay, so what's the solution? Because there was going to be some solution. And even though I feel like, you know what, they did well with the fact that Barry felt defeated and like he had no solution to any of this, I feel like that scene and these type of scenes could have been handled much better. I was kind of happy with the fact that the Team Flash did not fight. I was happy that there were no sort of resentment from what happened in the last episode. So that was extremely sort of, yeah, that was, I guess, one of the best parts of this episode. The fact that I did not have to watch Cisco and Barry fight or something. Excuse me. So the thing is, yeah, I was extremely pleased about that. The next thing that actually felt rushed and sort of pointless was the Ralph and Sue Dearborn thing. Like, why did you even bother with those couple of scenes? Like, honestly, I don't understand. Like, if you wanted to explain the fact that, you know what, we're not going to have Ralph or possibly even Sue Dearborn in the season or in the show anymore, this is our way of explaining it. And, you know, we have given a good explanation. So let's just get on with our lives. I agree with that logic. I would accept that, you know what, if you want to do that, well done. I mean, that's a good reasoning. But the problem I have is Flash has already set a precedence by not explaining things. Like, there was obviously Julian, right? Like, he never came back. There was like one line of explanation in like season 4's like second or first episode. There is a throwaway line said by somebody to somebody. Like, you don't have to explain things. I mean, most of the people who watch The Flash know what has happened with the actor who plays Ralph Dibny. Even if they don't, there is enough information out there and there's enough articles out there to tell you what's happened with the guy or what's happened in the situation. So there was, I guess, two options. One, you could just ignore the fact that that was a storyline, because guess what? Whatever happened in this episode that Sue Dearborn and Ralph Dibny did not matter one bit to the end result of everything. So you could have just sort of not have that happen, and like, that's not the problem, right? Like, I don't know how to say this, but I'm going to say it anyways. Okay. There are two situations where you are forced to make a decision of what do you want to do with a character in your show or a movie. There's obviously the one very unfortunate situation where the actor who plays the character dies. Death is irreversible, and there's nothing you could do about it. So there is that situation. There's obviously the other situation where the actor gets fired for any reason. Doesn't really matter if it was any Twitter comments or tweets, or was it some sort of a fight with the production house, or like fight with the showrunner, like, or any some sort of an scheduling conflicts, or just the fact that the actor doesn't want to be in the show anymore. Like, whatever the reason may be, there are, I guess, only two situations. There's one where the actor has been fired or doesn't want to play the part or something. There's obviously the other unfortunate situation where the actor who plays the character has died. So these are the two situations where you have to make a decision on what they want to do with the character. I've always been a believer of the fact that if the actor who plays the character has passed away, that is the only situation where you have to make a decision. I'll give you the example of Black Panther. There's obviously the sort of consensus that, you know what, somebody else has to play the part of Black Panther, because, you know what, it's a very sort of, the Black Panther movie was a big thing, and it was one of the first movies where okay, I'm going to say it out loud. A black person plays his main character, and the whole sort of movie has these characters. And it's a brilliant movie, right? In those aspects. So, and it's a brilliant character, and he has been part of 4 movies now. So that is a situation where you could have gone, you know what, the actor has passed away, but we are going to have some new actor play the part of Black Panther, of T'Challa, and it's going to be like a legacy. We are going to sort of grow the legacy, or sort of, we're going to pay tributes to the guy who played Black Panther, and we're going to sort of honor him by recasting somebody in his place, and basically following the legacy and improving the legacy, those sort of things. There's obviously the other choice you could make, where you could go, you know what, we're going to remove the character from our sort of universe. We are going to pay tribute in that way, that, you know what, nobody else is going to play him, but we are going to have future movies because of the fact that that's a very sort of essential part of the MCU now. So we're going to have, like, let's say his sister taking up the mantle, or maybe somebody else taking up the mantle, or doing something else with the plays and the sort of storylines, the comic books, whatever. So this is the only place, I think, where you got to make a decision. And I guess there are similar situations, like, for instance, Harry Potter. I guess the actor who played Dumbledore in the first 2 movies passed away. Very unfortunate. But then, because of the fact that Dumbledore is a very important character, you have to cast him, or rather recast him. And they did that. And the guy played essentially the 3rd, 4th, 5th, 6th, 7th, and 8th movies. But then when you have a situation of this, where a guy has been fired, I'm like, unless there is some sentiments or something, like a situation, unless there's an exception, basically, I feel like the actor should just be cast. Because, you have put a lot of effort into Ralph Dibny, make no mistake. Season 4, Season 5, Season 6. Season 4, he was sort of unbearable. But in Season 5, he was really good. Season 6, in the beginning, first half, he was very good. I mean, I wouldn't say he was great, but he was all right. I mean, he was a side character at the end of the day. So he was very good for that. But when you then go on to have a situation like that we have now, and the fact of the matter is, because Ralph Dibny is not going to be in the show anymore, we're not going to have DEARBON in the show anymore. Unless, of course, they find a way around that. I don't think that that's going to happen. But unless they have found a way around that, it's just sort of, create situations. Like, first of all, COVID is a situation that was unavoidable. And because of that, certain things are rushed, certain things wouldn't be done, certain things were shot now, certain things were shot back then. It's a whole mess. But what's one thing that you don't want to do is put yourself into even more sort of a dire situation not by the fact that you fire the actor, but by the fact that you haven't recast him, and the way you're going to play around with it is by showing 2 scenes. And even though the last one was kind of funny, and it sort of made this episode better for me because it was absolute rubbish, but it was extremely pointless. So, I don't know. Because of the fact that this is a bad episode, I feel like I'm finding faults everywhere. And I've ranted about all of these things for 12 minutes. And the sad part is, I have even more. Okay, let me get into this. There is a very big problem that's there in The Flash, the whole show. And it's a problem that has to be solved. When you have superhero shows like The Flash, Supergirl, where you have the main character who is an overpowered individual, make no mistake. And I think I've said this before, but you have got to have equally superpowered villains, and you have got to have a good story, because there's always a chance that the story falls flat, like the Cicada one. I mean, that was an absolute garbage of a season, but it wasn't as bad as this episode. But the fact of the matter is, it was still garbage. And like, you had this meme that was there that, Flash and Cicada would fight, and for some reason the Flash wouldn't be able to defeat him. And the one time he actually defeats him, Cicada flies away. And he flew away like 3 or 4 times in the season. So that was just weird. And that was just bad writing. I mean, it was lazy writing actually. But so there was that. But then when you have this type of a season, like the first half was so good, man. Like honestly, the first half of season 6 of The Flash was as good. It was potentially the second or maybe the third best first half of a season that we have had in the show. Period. The first season 1 is just legendary, but then season 2 first half, you could have an argument that season 6 first half was better than season 2. Season 3 had its own issues, but even there were some moments which were really good, and I feel like season 6 was, I guess, first half was better than that. The whole Ramsey Rosso thing was absolutely magnificent, and I was excited by this new showrunner. But what has happened in the second half of the season, has just sort of, like, even to be honest, right? The first 4 or 5 episodes after Crisis, I was like, you know what? I'm going to give this time because I can see the potential. I can see some great things that could happen in the show. So I'm going to give it time. And I gave it time. But I don't know, I feel like it has been an extremely forgettable second half of the season. Extremely forgettable. Like, this second half of season 6 is on par, and it's a big thing to say. It's on par with Arrow season 4, and that's something, man. Like that's like you can't have any other words to it apart from this. So okay, let's get into the episode, right? Like, I literally made the statement yesterday, and the sad part is I said this statement in like Stranger Things season 2 episode 8's reaction, which won't be up on the channel for like few days. So by the time this is up, that would have not been up, so there wouldn't be a connection to what I'm saying, but I'm going to say it anyways. So I said that in that TV show, I said that, you know what, The Flash especially does this thing where Iris talks to Barry, who is sort of infected or something, or lost his memories. Like, there have been so many occasions, right, similar to that. And like, Iris will talk to him, and after 2 minutes, he'll suddenly sort of recover and win the battle. And that's just sort of, if it happens once, it's fun and it's sort of new, and you feel like, you know what a brilliant scene, what an emotional scene, let's go. But when you do it 6 or 7 times, you go like, yeah, that's just lazy writing, isn't it? And the fact of the matter is, the episode went downhill after that spark. Like, honestly, that spark logic, like, I would not understand for the life of me what happened there. Like, The Flash has made a lot of logical mistakes over its 6 seasons, 7 seasons. Like, there have been so many logical faults, but it's fine because it's a superhero show. You're not watching it to find logical faults. You're watching it for entertainment, and we were all getting entertained. But there are some things that can't be excused, and this, oh my god, like, I can't believe how bad this episode was. Like, honestly, mate, I waited 1 week for this. I can't believe I did that. Imagine waiting 1 week for this episode. Like, at this point, I'm like wondering, am I the only one who has gotten so mad at this episode? Like, surely there's somebody out there like me who has been extremely disappointed by this show. If this, I mean, I'm not joking, right? If this season 6 had finished like this, like normally without COVID, let's say season 6 finished with these 3 as of last 3 episodes, I would have stopped watching the show. I feel like I would have stopped watching the show, because how can you do this? I mean, giving Iris powers like that, I don't have a problem with it, because there was some sort of a build up to it. Like, she was in the Mirrorverse for a long time. She had began manipulating some things in the Mirrorverse, like 2 or 3 episodes. Yeah, I think in season 7, episode 1, we saw her do something, and she was sort of manipulating it. Even last episode, I feel like there were some things that she was doing there. But, and I guess even before that, she had a couple of things. I don't really remember what happened towards the end of season 6. So there was some sort of build up to it. My problem isn't the fact that she had her powers. The problem with me is the fact that how did they end the season like this? Like, how can you have a season villain and not have a fight or a... And you talked. Are you telling me that the solution that they found was they talked to her? Are you actually having a laugh? This is, wow. I mean, this is mind-boggling. I'm running out of words here, like, honestly. Even the logic that they used for Flash to get his powers back, I feel like at this point of time, you have so many options. The Iris option, like, makes no sense. Like, there is not even a single amount of logic in it. But I'm going to go with it because why not? But then when it sort of adds up in the same episode, it just makes things worse. And yeah. The Harrison Wells thing, like, again, another thing, extremely rushed. I liked him in this episode. He was fun to have around. I was extremely disappointed to find out that we would not have him again in the season. At least not again. When I say he's not going to be part of Team Flash, so that was disappointing. But I did have a sinister feeling about it, even though it makes no sense. Maybe it will never happen in the show. But what if, right, what if? We have had a lot of logical faults in the show, so don't you dare find a fault in mine, because even if there is, the Flash would still do it, because it's already set precedent that, you know what, fuck logic. Okay, so the thing is, what if? Because of the fact that now Harrison Wells can go to any point of time in his lifetime, like, is that what he said? I mean, even that statement made half a sense to me, because he said literally that he has seen his present, past, future, all 92 years of it, if I'm not mistaken. So if he has seen his future, what decision is he taking? Because surely he's doing something that he did in his future. If he's not doing that, then he's changing his future, right? Logical fault. Like, where is your logic, guys? Come on. Okay, fine. Let's just go with it, shall we? Let's just go with it. So he can go to any point in his lifetime. So he said that he's going to spend the 4 years with Tess again and again and again till time runs away, basically. You know, quite the sort of decision. I appreciate it. So, what if this is what always happened in the original timeline? I mean, we don't have an original timeline because we have this crisis-created world. But then what if this Harrison Wells goes back in his time, and this is the Harrison Wells that gets killed by Eobard Thawne? You could say again and again and again, because I'm not really sure how this Wells works. But Thawne kills him, and that's how we sort of get... I don't know. I'm just yeah, I mean, at this point, I'm like, I don't even want to say it, like, it makes no sense to me, so it's just stupid at this point of time. I had high hopes for Harrison Wells, though. Yeah, that was kind of disappointing, but then, you know, I can't really judge a show based off of my expectations of it. So I'm gonna give leeway to them for that. Mate, I haven't felt this disappointed or let down. Like, it's not even disappointment at this point of time. It's just, I feel let down by the show. Like, I am... Why should I watch the show anymore? Like, honestly, this has been going on for 3 seasons now. Season 4, Season 5, Season 6, Season 7. I mean, Season 6. They just call it 4, 5, 6, 7 is the starting. So there's 3 seasons. And like, there was always We Are the Flash. I was like, okay, fine. I mean, whatever. But then this whole Iris and Barry thing, I don't think any of the showrunners have handled it well. Like there was always like Iris had literally nothing to do in her character after season one. It felt like whatever job she had, we barely saw her in it, and essentially after she found out and like after she sort of grew feelings for Barry, after that point of time, it has been a complete downhill for Iris in the show. Like essentially she's a pointless character in my opinion, and the only reason she is still in the show is because of the fact that she is Barry's, love of the life and stuff like that. Like they have literally reduced Iris to that, and I feel sad for that, honestly. uh it's not the fault of the actors, of course it's not. I mean, she's just doing what she's been told to do, what script she gets. And I feel like, yeah, there is no sort of like, I mean, Barry had that amazing chemistry with Felicity and even with Kara, to an extent even with Caitlin. So but then those three, if you compare it with what Barry had with Iris in the first couple of seasons, it was like not there. But then you know what, you could just go with it because that's what the show wanted, and it was what it was going to give, obviously. So you may as well accept it and sort of find enjoyment in whatever you're saying. And they have had good moments, right? But Iris has been extremely disappointing. And even this season in the beginning, right, when there was all the talk of the black hole versus Iris, like surely they could have done better than just keep Iris in the Mirrorverse, because it felt like she was saying things which were just too sort of weird. Like she was just going all out attack at Black Hole as if she had powers, or as if she, I mean, it was basically three people in the Central Citizen or whatever the newspaper is called as. But then at least they do not follow through with it. Like that's my problem. Like Iris' character has been a big problem for me ever since I guess season 4, even if not season 3. You know what? I have ranted enough. I honestly have ranted enough. I have other things to do. I actually have Superman and Lois to watch, and I hope to God, like honestly, please don't let it be a bad episode in Superman and Lois. If it's a bad episode in Superman and Lois, I will cry myself to sleep today. This has been an extremely disappointing day in terms of TV shows. So God, I hope that's a good episode. Oh, anyways, thank you so much for watching. Thank you so much for listening to this rant. And I wouldn't sort of criticize you or sort of feel disappointed by you lot if you don't watch this, because you may as well not, because this is such an extremely disappointing show. And yeah, if you manage to get through till here, please do share your thoughts on this episode and on whether you liked it or not. If you liked it, please tell me what you liked about the show, because I seriously want to hear your opinion on it. If you did not like the show, do share your thoughts, because you may find some other thing that you did not like that I may not have talked about. I feel like I've possibly missed a million things, because at the end of the day, when you start ranting about stuff, like things come to your mind, you say it, and you sort of forget everything else that you wanted to say at some point of time. And please tell what you're looking forward to in the season, because what's going to happen? Like, surely we're going to get a new sort of season villain or something. And I hope it's a speedster, because it has been way too long since we have had a speedster, and it's about bloody time we have one. And it's about bloody time that they do actually good stuff with the speedster villain. And basically, Flash has to, the showrunners, everybody has to go and watch season 1 and 2, and even season 3 of The Flash. Watch it, get everything in your brain, understand what the show, why the show became great, understand the ethos of the show, and come back and bloody make the season 7. I mean, it's just a rant, obviously they're not going to do that, but I hope that they get some essence of the show back, because it needs it. It needs it. So yeah, thank you so much for watching. Yeah, bye.